Hey everybody, this is Stephanie and Janice. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about Reylo and the toxic relationship that Rian Johnson basically capitalized on. It's been reported that they're putting out the Last Jedi novel. I'm going to give a shout out to anybody who can get me a free one. I'm not spending money on it. I have plans for that. Alright? I have plans for the Last Jedi novel. So stay tuned here, because if I can get a free copy of the novel, we're going to have fun. Alright, so, and in the novel, there are scenes that should have been in the movie, that were sacrificed for the toxic relationship of Reylo. And we all know by now, if we're aware, that Rian Johnson stole that part of the film's plot from a fanfic written by either a woman or a boy named Straight Solo. You can find it on an archive of our own. It's called Signs and Bones or something like that. I'll put a description. I'll put the link of that story in in a pinned post. But anyway, so let's talk about this. All right, the novel's coming out. In the novel, there are going to be several scenes that would have actually added to the movie, including Han Solo's funeral, which, a major character and arguably the most popular character in Star Wars, sorry Luke, is being remembered by his wife, and we at least get to say goodbye. That was sacrificed for Reylo. Anybody who's a real Star Wars fan is pissed off right now. I can hear you all screaming, because when I heard about it, I was pretty mad. I screamed, and you can imagine. But this is the problem here. This Reylo stuff is created by, I think there's a group of women who probably liked Twilight. They saw Star Wars, they weren't fans, they still aren't true fans, and were mesmerized by Adam Driver. I have no idea why. Someone's gonna have to explain this to me. So anyway, they fell in love with this awful character. And let me explain something. There is something in every woman, and I understand this perfectly, that you will be attracted to the bad boy. Han Solo is quote-unquote a bad boy. But if you look at his background, if you peel back the onion, you will see why he acted so callous towards everything that someone would care about. This is a guy that was a throwaway child. He grew up an orphan. He was abused and neglected. Everything he cared about, everything he thought cared about him, abandoned him. So when you think about it, it makes sense that he would protect himself by basically saying, I want my reward for rescuing you. All right. First off, and honestly, he's got a price on his head too, but we all know about that. But he comes off as callous, uncaring, and unfeeling because he's protecting himself. He's built a wall for himself between his true nature and everybody else. Because every time he brings somebody in, he eventually finds himself being abandoned, being hurt, losing that person, and having his emotions, basically savaged. And men are not good at rebounding like we all think they can. They might not cry about it, they might not weep about it, but you'll never see an alpha male behave in quote unquote a sensitive way all the time because they're protecting themselves. If you understand that, you can deal with it. All right. So Han, the bad boy persona, is a persona. It's a facade. And as Carrie Fisher said in an interview when they were doing The Empire Strikes Back, Han on the inside is nothing but a big ball of mush. He really does care, and that's who he genuinely really is. So cocky, arrogant, rather obnoxious guy is the only part that he lets people see. Okay, that's Han Solo. Then we have the like the beta male predator, the guy that writes pretty things and says pretty things to girls to have power over them, to get them into bed. A little less bothersome and horrible than Harvey Weinstein, but still a predator nonetheless. This is what I call them the Lord Byrons. A very bad person who's really in a relationship to get what he wants. Then you have the malignant narcissistic sociopath who, the David Koresh, the narcissist who gaslights, who manipulates a woman, anybody, actually can be a woman too, to believe something about themselves that isn't true. You look at these people in history: Hitler, Chairman Mao, Kim Il Sung, the Ayatollah Khomeini, Osama bin Laden, the Reverend Jim Jones, David Koresh, Charles Manson. That is where Kylo Ren, aka Kylo Ren, exists. Okay, he is a formless, very immature, and they always are. When you really peel back that onion, they're very immature. Okay, these people are very immature, and they manipulate and use people's fears against them. They make it so you don't really know what the truth is about yourself anymore. And when I watched The Last Jedi, all I could get was he's lying to you. He's lying to you. He's gaslighting you. He's a sick, infantile character. And most of these people that I described in history are sick, infantile characters. Okay? They've never really grown up. They've never really, really had to deal with the consequences of their actions because they don't acknowledge them. Okay, and that is, Kyle Ron in a nutshell. The whole, and we all know also that Rian Johnson stole that idea, Ray Nobody, the Reylo idea from a fanfic. So it's not even really a well-written idea, all right? And then, and it was teased. It wasn't really, there it is, they're having romance. He just teased it, which is bullshit. Then you've got, the gratuitous shirtless Adam Driver scene, which, what? Here's a picture. Isn't that like the most gratuitous, ridiculous pandering to a group of people who don't really even like Star Wars that you've ever seen in your life? I mean, when Rian Johnson came out and he's been out on Slash Film defending all the bullshit that he did, basically trying to explain why he fucked up Star Wars so bad. It goes to the heart of the fact that the man is a nihilist. He doesn't realize what a horrible thing he did with this Reylo shit and Ray Nobody. Ray Nobody doesn't make any sense in the larger scale of the whole saga. Okay? I've said this before, but I don't really think that Rian Johnson knows what saga means. If he did, he would not have done what he did. Okay? So, we've got that. The fact that he's a nihilist, and he took George Lucas's giant sweeping vision of this galaxy. It's like the Milky Way. It's enormous, billions of light years across, with all these different races, all these different groups of humanoid beings and species together. This vast 1,000-year republic, this galactic empire, and it's huge. Rian Johnson, with the help of J.J. Abrams, I might add, who's culpable in all this because he didn't give any guidance, took everything that George Lucas did and made it small, dark, creepy, and a bit hopeless. And that's not Star Wars, all right? I don't know what that is, but it's a dystopian, nihilistic vision, and it doesn't belong in Star Wars, okay? When you go to Blade Runner 2049 and you suddenly realize that the movie actually has more hope in it than these new Star Wars sequels, it should make you kind of go, okay? Because it does me. You can't do Star Wars if you're a nihilist, okay? Because Star Wars is about hope, isn't it? You can't do Star Wars if you're going to forward a toxic relationship between a horrible person, a horrible man who's irredeemable, and a girl. And then, instead of making her strong and looking at Kyle Ron and telling him, no, you're wrong, you're trying to feed into my fears, and I won't let you, she believes him. That's not strong. That's not seeing through his shit. Okay? Leia would have seen through it. Padme would have seen through it. She saw through Anakin. Anakin wasn't even really trying to manipulate her. All right? He was asking her to join him because he loved her. All right? And he wanted to protect her. Am I right? I'm right. Leia sees through Han's gruff, cold, seemingly flippant, facade to this warm, gentle soul. I mean, think about it. She sees through the mask that he's wearing. She sees the young man that saved a Wookiee from being tortured and killed and lost his career as an Imperial pilot because of his basic decency, all right? But no, we've got Kyle Ron pulling a David Koresh, pulling a Jim Jones, pulling a Charles Manson on this girl, this powerful Force user who's supposed to be the greatest Jedi ever. And she goes, instead of going, wait a minute, asshole. How do you know? Do you think I should believe you? Because that's what I would have done. That's exactly what every strong woman out there would have done. That's what Leia would have done. That's what Padme would have done. But no. Yeah. Is that good for girls? Really, moms? Do you honestly think that this Reylo shit, that you can save him when he's irredeemable and you know it, is good for girls? And is it good for boys? All right, I'm going to leave you with that. And also, Rian Johnson in Slash Film also said that he toyed with the idea of making Rey a cyborg. I'm going to leave you with that. All right. This is Steph saying say no to toxic relationships. Kill Reylo dead now. I'll see you around the galaxy.